the show where three generations of family go head to head on a variety of topics. You got one Gen X, Kaya, one Millennial, Noe, and one Gen Z, Chris. No matter what the topic, you can bet it's going to be up for debate.
And to the greater point here, in terms of, what the future is for our youth, this whole, back to this point of expectations, right? So I feel like men are the only individuals who are loved conditionally, right? You ask these women what they need from a man in order to be interested in them. It's this job, gotta make this amount of money. But then when it comes to men, they just, seeking out the prettiest girl. Don't care what her aspirations are. Don't care, what her outlook on life is, any of that stuff until they get into a relationship. And then it's too late, 2 months down the road, and you find out that she's a bum. You know what I'm saying? That happens a lot. I know a lot of guys that go through that. You know
I don't agree because...
at least for my generation, that's very rampant.
Because there's a lot of men that literally live off of their women. Like the black women are the most educated, and they are now the top rising statistics in owning their own businesses. However, there's some dudes that just be like, the man has kept his foot on my neck, and I can't get what I need to get, so that's why I got to. Can I stay with you? How many women do you know that have had their own apartment, been doing their own thing, and then when they got married, even in my situation, when they got married, the male moved in with the woman.
Yeah, but we're talking about today's day and age, right? That's not as, at least from my perspective. You
always want to be saying how, but your generation does it too. You always.
I never said that. I never mentioned that. Not
every other show, you be like, no, it's not just the Gen Z, it's everybody. You always want to put a whole blanket on everything. And now when I say,
regardless of what happened in every other show, today, this show, I never mentioned your generation. I literally practiced my point with my peer group. My generation sucks when it comes to that stuff. Absolutely sucks. We the OnlyFans generation.
Because y'all want to get rich quick.
Do anything for $1 generation.
But who set up that infrastructure?
COVID.
We had to grow into that.
COVID is a good one, No, you want to know what it was? A lot of it has to do with Gen X parents that have these Gen Z kids and be like, I don't want my kids to have to go through what I went through. And we trying to raise our kids without the hard knock life. And because of the fact that now we could shove a device in your face and be like, here, just leave me alone. Just go do what you got to do. I just need some time. Mommy needs some time. Mommy got to finish. So you have all these other things to now keep your attention. But my brother always says that how come when it's a white dude, they're privileged, but when it's a black dude, they're spoiled. A white kid, they're privileged, and when it's a black kid, they're spoiled.
Good point.
I don't think that we've given you guys the proper tools. And even if we do, because you guys don't fear anything, you don't fear authority, you don't, like in the schools. And I also think that the schools have a lot to do with it, because the schools now, the kids have all of the rights in the world, and the teachers have no real recourse to be disciplined. To discipline the kids. What about that black teacher that the chick just beat her down? And then she ended up in a hospital. And then the girl got charged with whatever. And the little 6-year-old that brought the gun to the school to shoot the teacher and shot the teacher and was just like, yeah, I'll do it again. We're raising punks and wimps. People that do not respect authority. And I'm not talking about the police. I'm talking about your elders. I'm talking about yes, ma'am, no, sir. You know what I'm saying? I'm talking about dudes that know don't curse in front of your grandmother. These kids, they'll see a woman in the street or an older woman in the street and they'll just be just letting off whatever. Yo, suck my, in front of a grandmother. And they don't think nothing of it. Me, if you, my mother used to say, I'll wash your mouth out with soap. And she did one time. She took a bar of ivory and washed my mouth out with soap. The statute of limitations is long gone, but
your smaller test.
But we don't do that no more. If we do that, the kids be like, I'll call 911.
Because I think for kids though, all right, so there's a lot to that, I think. I think one, obviously, I think it's just the natural softness in which kids are raised with now. But that also comes from, so there's the Gen Xers who, as you said, raised the millennials, if you will, right?
The Gen Zs.
The Gen Zs. And then you have the millennials in the middle of that have like become like super in touch with their emotions and all this stuff, right? So you got like mental health in the middle of that. And then you've got like the residual effect of the baby boomers raising the Gen Xers. Then you have the Gen Zers, and then you have the government putting in all this extra stuff. So all of that now is just like, oh, well, you can't do this. And if you beat your kid, it's this. Oh, well, you used to beat your kid and that caused a whole bunch of like long-lasting issues, and now they need therapy and this and this and this. So now everybody's in this state of like, so what do we do? Just let it be. Give them a device. Put them on social media. They won't bother you. It's just everything has kind of just been redirected in some way, shape, or form, as opposed to being dealt with. Because to me, I'd be looking around, I'd be listening to kids talk, and I'm looking around like, if y'all don't slap this nigga, man, like, what are we doing? And so there's just so many different things. I think the biggest thing is, I want to say mental health in this capacity. I feel like to some degree, it gets abused from the standpoint of like, every time somebody has a problem, oh, it's a mental health issue. Oh, they're dealing with some form of trauma. Like, no, that nigga just made a bad decision. Like, I think it goes with everything, right? I think like with a lot of different things, sometimes we get caught up. It's like COVID. That nigga got COVID. Like, nah, bro, I just cough. Like, I don't have, you know what I'm saying? Like, it's just, you get so
I be thinking that though, when people be coughing, I be like,
you know what I'm saying? Somebody's on the train or something, it's just like, huh. And it's just like, you know what I'm saying? Like, it's just every time, or it's just like, damn, I don't feel good. Like, oh, my stomach, oh, this. Think you got cancer. It's just like, nah, bro, it's just not that bad. Everything is always like one crazy extreme. But I think when that extreme becomes something like mental health, then it becomes tricky, because now it's like, okay, I don't know what to do. I got to tiptoe around that. How do I move with it? And then you always have those people who take advantage of stuff, which then makes it hard for the people who genuinely need whatever help is there. So I feel like you have half of the world that's like tiptoeing around stuff, and then the other half is full of like two different types of people. The one that's going to take advantage, and then the ones who really need it. And everybody's just kind of out there in the world parlaying. And so you just got to figure that joint out to some degree and treat each individual case as its own. It's hard though, you know, like it's weird just because it's so different. Like, I think about it all the time, like how we got to this shift, like how, I don't even understand. I'm a lot of the time looking around like, how did we even get here? Like, what was the thing that really like broke? Was it COVID? Was it that time, that downtime, and like just
It was kind of like that before COVID, but COVID really just
It amplified it. 100%.
because I understand, like for kids in particular, elementary school, middle school, high school, losing, I don't know, like a year or more of, you know, that social interaction with your friends and teachers, the going and coming, like, I think there's a lot that you actually gain like through your commutes. You know what I'm saying? Like getting up in the morning, leaving the house, you know what I'm saying, interacting with the people outside as you move throughout the world or whatever. I think on top of your friends or whatever, I think there's a lot that you actually gain from that. But I guess losing that for over a year, and then it's just like, I'm stuck with the same 3 people, the same 5 people, you know what I'm saying, every day, all day for 24 hours. I can't go anywhere. I can't go beyond my driveway because I might get COVID if I touch the street. You know what I'm saying? So I definitely think that that can have, you know, a serious effect on a person's mental health. And as Chris said, I think that just amplified problems that might have been there, but, you know, you can kind of cover those up. But then at some point, it's just like,
Don't forget to check out our website for all of your merch. Subscribe and tell a friend to join the movement.